Hello, dear learner. Welcome to this session on operation and maintenance of home security systems. In the previous session, we discussed about the different types of home security systems which are used in different households as well as in establishments like institutions and offices. The home security systems primarily consist of the equipment which are used to maintain the houses against the breach that may happen due to burglary, robbery, and unauthorized access. Out of the different types of home security systems, the CCTV systems play a crucial role and are most commonly used types of security systems. The CCTV camera plays the pivotal role in case of the home security systems using CCTV system as a whole. The installation locations of CCTV cameras therefore play the most vital role. Depending on the installation locations, the area that is to be covered and the number of CCTV cameras that are to be installed and the wiring or connections from the CCTV cameras to the central location where the screen of the CCTV camera view will be installed will depend. Depending on the requirement of a wide angle view as well as the clarity of the area to be covered, the installation locations are chosen. Also, it is to be taken care of that the cameras are not installed in locations where they are liable to be damaged due to various environmental and external conditions. Then we move to see the next important device that is required for CCTV installation, that is the NVR or network video recorder. There is another type of video recorder called as DVR, which is digital video recorder. Both of them work in similar manner, but this NVR or network video recorder is one which can be used also to integrate the system through mobile communication or other internet related connection and equipment. So this NVR is the location where all the videos which are captured by number of CCTV cameras installed across the house can be connected. Now, very important aspect in CCTV installation is the routing of the wires, how the wires are routed from the CCTV camera to the NVR location. From NVR, it can be directly connected to the screen for viewing the images and the videos. However, routing these wires play a crucial role not only in the visual aspects, that is how the wiring is looking like, but also in the form of the aspect of the length of the wire. If the routing is not properly done, the length of the wire required to move from the CCTV camera to the NVR location will be too distant, too large. Also, exposure of the wires to the environment and hazardous conditions also are to be looked at. So therefore, routing of the wires need to be planned well ahead, and accordingly the installation needs to be done. Next important aspect is the monitoring software that is used. This monitoring software has to be user friendly. Very often the monitoring software failure leads to maloperation of the CCTV system. So this software needs to be therefore upgraded as required and needs to be checked and then only decision has to be taken regarding any changes that are to be done in the hardware of the CCTV system. Next important aspect that we look at is the mobile app that is used nowadays to monitor the CCTV videos. The mobile apps play a crucial role in making the videos available to us at any location at any point of time. We can see the videos from any location by using these mobile apps. These apps also need to be upgraded and need to be checked for proper functioning and whether they are showing the videos correctly or not. Now, selecting the locations for installation of CCTV cameras is another very important aspect so that the user is able to cover the crucial areas and the important areas or locations of the house and the outside the house locations or the areas. So selecting the locations is the primary uh, task that is to be done. Accordingly, the number of cameras to be installed in the house are decided. Next important thing is the wiring, that wire that is connected from the camera to the NVR, how they are to be taken is important aspect, as I mentioned earlier also. And these wires need to be taken through the wire paths or locations by which they will remain concealed. They will not be exposed to anybody or everyone. Now, mounting locations for suitable view is the aspect that we have to look at. Another aspect that is to be seen while installing the cameras is that they should not be easily accessible by anybody and should not be available to anyone to touch. Otherwise, there may be miscreants who would be tampering with the cameras. They will be changing the camera viewing angle, etc. So mounting locations are to be selected accordingly. Also, the safety of the cameras from external conditions like rain, wind, dust, and snowfall in place of in the colder places, that is also to be looked at, and the cameras are to be installed in locations where it will be protected from these aspects. So exposed wires as far as possible should be avoided, and the cameras should be mounted near the holes where the wires enter into that particular wall where the camera is installed. Now, exposed wires are not good to look at. That is number one. Number two, the exposed wires may be damaged by external conditions easily, and the people who are the miscreants also may detach the cameras or disconnect them or cut them. So that possibility is also to be nullified, and it attracts the attention of burglars or miscreants easily if we have too long a wire attached to the camera. So concealed wiring is something that is always recommended. So while doing the operation of CCTV cameras, we need to look at this particular aspect of wiring as well. Now, the camera viewing condition or the image condition can be checked not only during daytime but also during the night time by checking the same location with a day view and a night view. A day view and a night view comparison will lead to the proper decision regarding the operation of a CCTV camera, whether it is working with proper light even during the night time or not. Now, detaching the camera from the frame is very easy. A frame or a bracket that is used to fix the camera onto the wall is usually mounted, and over that particular frame or bracket the CCTV camera can be fixed. So that fixing mechanism is very often a very simple mechanism, and it has to be proper so that the camera is mounted on the frame correctly. While attaching or installing a CCTV camera, and also while detaching, that is deinstalling, removing the CCTV camera also, we need to use this particular connection to the frame or the bracket. Now removing or installing the frame or the bracket is usually done by a simple screwdriver. It's a very simple process of using screwing and unscrewing the screws. And before installing, the holes are to be made on the wall for fixing the frame, and these holes are to be marked according to the location of the camera that is decided. Now, making of the holes and fixing of the frame should be done near the cable entry. So this is another aspect that we need to look at as people doing the operation and maintenance of these CCTV cameras. So fixing of the frame near the cable entry minimizes the length of the cable or the wire that remains exposed. Now fixing of the frame near the cable entry is done by making the holes on the walls properly and in real location where the camera will be mounted. Now there are some wireless cameras also which are available nowadays, which can avoid using wires that are connected to the CCTV cameras. So wireless cameras can be used for locations where wiring from the NVR to the camera is not easily possible. Now, use of suitable wires is to be done wherever the camera is to be a wired one. Usually, the Cat6 type of network cables, the cables which are used or wires which are used for networking purpose, are used also for CCTV cameras. Now, these Cat6 cables are routed along the length of the routing area from the NVR to the CCTV camera using suitable conduit, and then the wires go to the central location where the NVR is placed. Usually the wires are routed through a distribution frame like this, and it can be made into a flash mounted type wall mounted type frame or the rack, and it can be installed near the NVR as far as possible so that the connection from here to the NVR is easy. The NVR and the screen also should not be located very far. They should be placed nearby so that the VGA cable that goes from the NVR to the screen is not too long. The cameras also have their internal data storage capacity nowadays. So only the videos are not going to the NVR usually in the new types of cameras. They have internal storage also in the form of data storage cards, and they have storage as high as 64 GB or 128 GB, even going up to terabytes level nowadays in more advanced CCTV cameras. So shifting of the camera from one location to another is also possible while doing operation and maintenance. And this shifting also is done by first detaching the camera from the bracket or the frame and then removing the bracket installing the bracket in another location, and attaching the camera again on the frame or the bracket. The camera connectors usually are same as the connectors which are used in computer networks. Using Cat6 cables and RJ45 type connectors, the cameras are connected to the NVR. So connectors of the CCTV cameras also need to be checked if there is any kind of loss of data or loss of video that is happening. It may happen because of loose connections of the wires to the connectors. So connections to the video recorder or NVR is very easy that way, by connecting the CCTV cameras using the Cat6 type network cables and RJ45 connectors, and multiple cameras can go into an NVR depending on its capacity, usually 8, 12, 16, etc. number of cameras can be connected to a single NVR. In case more cameras are to be connected to the system, there needs to be the network switches that are to be connected. Switches, hubs, or routers can work very well with these types of cameras and NVRs for increased capacity or increased number of cameras that are to be installed in a CCTV system. Dear learner, in this part of the session, we will see the video demonstration of a CCTV camera connection. A CCTV camera connection typically consists of the camera itself along with a DVR or NVR, and then it is also to be supplied by some power, that is a controlled power supply through SMPS, and that SMPS is also going to provide power to the other components such as a router which connects the different cameras to the DVR, and it also provides power supply to the monitor. And then the CCTV connection that is made is to be done using the specified wiring. And then we see that the DVR is connected with the cameras using the network cables, and also to the display using a VGA cable. So DVR is connected to the display using a VGA cable, just like any other computer CPU is connected to the monitor. So this particular VGA connection helps in extending the image or the display to any number of monitors, or it can also be used with a splitter to have different monitors in connection. We can see here a network cable that is being used for connecting to the different components like the CCTV cameras. So these cables are routed, as we can see, through the wall, and then they are going to the different cameras as well as to the routers. So here we can see a VGA cable. Very often the VGA cable pins, they get damaged, and these pins are to be checked if there is a problem of display. So display problem of CCTV system is very often due to the pin problem of the VGA cable. So that pin problem of the VGA cable can be overcome only by replacement of the cable. And then we see here the network cables which are connected to a hub or a switch, and the power supply is provided to this particular DVR. Also, this DVR is connected to a mouse for controlling the displays on the screen. So there is a VGA splitter that we can see here. This VGA splitter leads to connection to several the monitors which can be used for displaying the images, and these monitors can be placed at different locations. Different people can have a look at the images at any point of time. We can see a hub here. That hub is connected to the different CCTV cameras through the network cables. So this is the DVR which is connected to the display using the network cables. Then we can see what are the different types of cameras which are used in the CCTV system. This is a PTZ camera. The PTZ camera had been explained in the previous lecture, and this PTZ type of camera is used for a wide angle view, and for outdoor uses this is used, as we can see here. So this is a very high resolution camera which has got the capacity of tilting, having a tilting angle. It can be turned and it can also be zoomed, and it is specially used for outdoor applications. Now this is another special type of camera called as a bullet camera, which is also a high resolution camera. Usually bullet cameras are used for both outdoor and indoor applications. So these are some other types of cameras which are used in indoor applications mainly, and for larger area view. And these are the most common types of cameras which are used mostly in indoor applications, and for viewing smaller areas. They may or may not have the automatic tilting capability, and the connections to these cameras, as we can see, are made through the cables which are used, and they are routed through the walls to the different locations, and they finally go to the main control room where the DVR is placed. So these are some of the cameras. After they are demounted, they are taken out, and these are the cables which are used for connecting the cameras to the DVR locations. So these cables, as you can see, are connected using the connectors, RJ45 connectors to the DVR, and the other end of the cables can go to the cameras of different kinds directly. So cameras have their own connectors like this. Sometimes the connectors are of different kinds, but there are connectors available which can be connected to the network cables, and adapters of different kinds help connecting the cameras having different types of connectors, um, and to the DVRs and the network as such. So this is another type of camera which we can see is basically a digital color camera. Its specification will be written, and if the camera's lens gets older or damaged, then it can be replaced. We have the connecting points here which are basically used for connecting the camera to the cable, and it has got a protective glass cover also of this type. So this glass cover after prolonged use becomes blurry. So when it becomes too blurry, then it needs to be replaced, and it can be replaced very easily. So this is how the camera would look like after prolonged use. So older cameras will develop problems in viewing because of the glasses, and the glass covers over the cameras will become blur, and then they need to be replaced. Very often the camera itself needs to be replaced, inside the lens itself needs to be replaced, and that can also be done very easily. We have also the LEDs of these kinds which are there over the cameras. They help us viewing the target object during the night time. Some LEDs also emit infrared, and now these LEDs also may develop problems. In that case, these LEDs can also be replaced, but for that the trained technicians are to be involved in the process. So these are some of the common types of cameras which can be maintained for the proper operation of the CCTV system. Now, as we can see, this is a bullet type of camera, and this bullet type of camera can be installed on the wall directly because the frame is attached to it, and it can be installed on the wall like this. And we need to do the drilling of the wall where it is to be installed, and this frame can be fitted. Now, this is the indoor type of camera, and this type of indoor type of camera has got a bracket like this, as we explained in the first part of this particular session. This bracket can be installed on the wall by drilling and fitting the screw, and then we can attach this particular camera this way. So this is how the camera can be fixed on the bracket and then can be installed on the wall. And this camera is a very common type, and it can be tilted by some angles this way. This is the way we can do the tilting of the angle for different views by the camera. So this is the most common type of camera as we see everywhere. This is another type of camera which has got the lens as well as the sensors. So these sensors can be also used for detecting motion. So there are cameras which have got motion sensors attached to them. So they also detect motions. Whenever there is a motion or moving object or people, it can detect. So these are the connectors for this type of a camera, and this is the kind of adapter which is used for many different types of cameras. This adapter provides the power supply for certain sensors in the CCTV cameras to work. So very often the CCTV cameras do not work because of the problems which are developed in the AC to DC adapters which are used for powering up the cameras. So we need to check that as well very often. So dear learner, we have seen different types of cameras and their associated components. The CCTV cameras, as I had mentioned earlier also, are the most common and important types of components in any home security system. So see, these CCTV cameras require maintenance from time to time, and they develop difficulties or problems after prolonged usage. So these cameras and their associated components need to be checked. Very common types of problems that may occur in CCTV cameras are due to the problems in their lens, due to the problems in their connecting wires, due to the problems that may develop in the power supply, the adapter attached to them, or due to the connectors which are connected from the camera to the DVR or NVR, and from DVR or NVR to the display. So all these various types of components need to be checked, and whenever required, some components may need to be replaced also. All these components associated with CCTV cameras are available as spare parts. In case of any requirement of replacement, they can be replaced with the suitable spare parts very easily. So that's all for this session. I hope you have been able to learn about CCTV cameras and their importance as home security system and some of their operation and maintenance requirements. Thank you.